But it was a fairly standard pregnancy.
We held our breath until the first 10 weeks because we expected another miscarriage. And so when the 10-week ultrasound and there was a heartbeat, that was huge.
Then at 20 weeks, it just, the bottom caved out. Just during the routine anatomy scan, the doctor found several heart abnormalities. There were spots on the brain, and his stomach was not present. We had been prepared that when he was born, he was going to be blue until they could get his heart fixed. We were very prepared to have, a baby that was blue. I was adamant as a mom that I didn't want blue clothes. I didn't want him to look like a Smurf because that was my fear. Everything was light blue.
In my mind, it was stay positive, focus on a healthy baby, and just keep praying healthy. Don't even entertain that this could be a problem.
We just prepared as much as we could, and he didn't want to do anything by plan, and so my water broke at 34 weeks. And I had been told that my goal was I needed to keep him in as long as possible. On the way to the hospital, it was everything going through my mind was it's too early. It's too early. I felt like I had failed him because I couldn't make it to full term.
The heart rate was dangerously low every time she would have a contraction, and that's when they decided we need to get the baby out now. And since she was on Lovenox, and we didn't have time because we didn't think to get her off Lovenox, she'd have to be completely under. And so that was a big thing, to knowing that I was alone now. She was going to be in surgery, and I couldn't even be in the room with her because they had to put her fully under. So it was very scary at that time. And the first thing I noticed, like Sam said, he wasn't blue. It's like I was overlaid. Oh, he's normal. He's normal pink skin, just beautiful baby boy. Everything looked perfect. And eventually they told me there appears to be a blockage in the airway. We're trying to open it up. We kind of sat there for a while, and more and more people were coming in. What I didn't know is that doctors were coming in that were dropping their kids off at school. They were called in for this case, and they dropped their kids off and came right in. So these doctors were coming from everywhere, trying, because they had no idea what was going on. They couldn't open the airway, and finally they said, we're gonna have to have an exploratory surgery.
Two doctors came down and they spoke with us, and I even remember where everybody was positioned in the room, and the doctor told us that there was nothing that they could do. James had been born without a trachea, and that without an airway that he can't breathe on his own, and that there was no procedure to correct that.
I didn't think what they came back with was what was going to happen. I thought what was going to happen was maybe there was a blockage. Okay, we need to do something and open it up. I did not expect there's nothing we can do.
I didn't understand how we can do all of these great things, how we can put a man on the moon, how we can do open heart surgery, we can do brain surgery, we can fix his heart, and we can't put essentially a tube in my child to make him breathe.
We were so prepared for everything, and it was the one thing that none of the doctors we didn't even know about. That was the fatal flaw.
Once they told us that he wasn't going to make it, they moved us into our room shortly after that, and then they were able to bring him to us. And we had maybe 30-45 minutes with him. And that time we bathed him, I got to hold him for the first time.
He was perfect. We bathed him. I'm pretty sure he passed in my arms. At least that's what I like to believe.
One of my biggest, I think, sadnesses is that he never looked at me. So if you, sorry. You know, my sister-in-law says that he looked at me. I don't obviously remember it. That was the biggest thing, that I didn't get to have my baby boy look at me that I carried. The care that we got from Mercy was just above and beyond. They did everything in their power to make just a miserable, horrible situation better. They said, we're gonna take him, and we're gonna take him to the NICU. And since they couldn't get a Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep photographer, the NICU nurses, as they called it, played dress up with him. And they did their own photo session. And because of that, we have hundreds of pictures of him that, in my eyes, it's all I have. A lot of the events of that time are blurry to me, just from surgery and all of the medications I was on. So for me, those are completely irreplaceable, because they are my memory. The doctors say that James was just a complete fluke, a complete abnormality. All of his genetic testing came back fine, and they had no explanation as to why he had 5 heart defects and no trachea. You know, it was such an anomaly that everybody wanted to see it, and they wanted to try to figure something out. And they were trying to go through all these different solutions, and would something work, or could they, prolong it so that way maybe they could do more research. And in the end, they just decided there was no feasible option. I needed something to fulfill my time. I needed something to feel needed. And the March of Dimes gave me that. It gave me that opportunity to honor our son and to remember our son. It gave us the opportunity to fundraise and to hopefully help other families, that they never have to go through it. The walk always falls about a week before his birthday, and so that is his birthday party. And his family comes out for the walk, and our friends come out for the walk, and it's just kind of our chance to get together. I don't know if for our friends, if it's so much as remembering James, but it's a chance to support us. But for me, that's our celebration for him. There's that saying that the children are our future.
Because in the end, that is the strength of this country, the next generation, and the more that we can do to help that generation to be healthy and productive, and support them, and to provide the support that parents need, especially new parents or parents that have never gone through this before. It's the scariest thing in the world. But to have someone there that can help is definitely worthy and definitely worth giving money.
So we ask all of our family and all of our friends, please join, walk with us, whether it be in Des Moines or be across the country, and join Team James. Help us fundraise, help us honor, and help us remember James.